Hello YouTube, and I got a video here that's a little bit off topic from what I usually do. We're here in the kitchen today, and you might be going, "Oh, what the hell is this?" I was tuning in to see a guy put together a line shaft machine shop, you know. And I'm working on that, and I got something coming up pretty soon for that. I had a little side project. I was asked to make a replica of some antique spectacles, some 14th century spectacles. So, and I'm sad to say that I didn't take video on this, but anyways, these were basically just laid out on a piece of brass. Two pieces of brass were cut, clamped together, and I ground them out and filed them. And took them apart, drilled them, popped a little rivet in. Anyways, so when I chucked them in the lathe to do the holes, and I bored them and cut a little groove in there so they'll actually hold the lens. There's a split right here, and they had a piece of twine or something that went around there to actually squeeze it together a little bit and hold the original lenses in. So I haven't cut that yet, but I digress. So I was thinking about, well, I need to age this brass. I want to age it because I want to make them look somewhat authentic. And, well, the thought occurred to me that, I've got a good method, but I'm going to look into it. I did look into it, and I did my research. I couldn't find this method anywhere else. The one place I found it actually had nothing to do with actually aging the brass itself, but was in order to make a solution to plate things in copper. You'll notice this is a little bit blue, and we'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, this video is just going to be a little thing to show basically the easiest, best way, and quickest way that I've found to antique copper or brass objects. And if you're restoring an antique and you got to make a part, it's something you'll come across. Or maybe you're doing art and you just want that look. This works really, really well. Now the things you're going to need, some way of holding on to the part. We have a little test piece of brass here, because you're going to want to be dipping it in solution, and the solution is going to be hot. So we got some vice grips for that. Pretty much anything else similar will work. If you're looking into this, you're not that fucking stupid. So we're gonna need some kind of a glass, microwave safe, but you could easily heat this up on a stove. You need two ingredients that everybody has in their house somewhere. Almost everybody's got it. White vinegar, regular old hydrogen peroxide. This came from the dollar store. You probably get the vinegar at the dollar store as well. And honestly, probably any vinegar will work. I'm low on vinegar, so I'm not gonna mix this up. Mix up a fresh batch. You notice this is a little bit blue. Well, it turns blue when you use it. That's the ion from the copper that's creating that color. It'll get more blue the more it gets used. The mix for these two key ingredients here is 50-50. That's all you need, just a straight 50-50. Works perfect. Alright? You want to mix the two up. Again, it'll be clear when you mix it. And then you need course, you need a microwave. So, okay, there's stuff in the microwave. That's for my sister and when they get back. Alright, we're going to just use this microwave real quick. Now, this works better when it's hot. Alright? You want to bring this to a boil, and then that's enough. Just to a boil, and that's why you really want something to hold this. This is, okay, you know, there's no problem with this stuff. It's perfectly safe. I just dip my fingers in it. I'm not getting any crazy burning or anything. You know, it feels like water. And that's kind of the nice thing about this. You know, some people for aging this stuff will use all sorts of chemicals I've heard of. You don't need anything crazy. You don't need to go to a gun shop and buy gun blue or anything like that, as I've heard of some people doing. I imagine all of that works, but it's going to be a lot more expensive than doing this. Now the thing about this reaction is also that the heat helps it. It acts as a catalyst. It makes it work quick. You can put this stuff in there cold, but it's going to be probably a little harder to control. And it's just not worth trying to do it cold. Like I said, you just heat to this. But now, if you're doing a large piece, you know, you want that heat to transfer into this object a little bit, whatever you're aging, you know, into the metal. So if you're doing a large piece, I would recommend you maybe put it in your oven and preheated it, you know, 150, 200 degrees, just get it nice and preheated, and then heat this stuff up and use it. And I imagine you could even brush it on if you need to. I've not tried it. I haven't had to do any large pieces. But hell, it's almost cheap enough if you were doing a large piece, you know, to maybe get a vat or something and hook that. I don't know. Anyhow, let's cut to the chase here. So we got a test card. I brought this out just for you know, testing on a different piece, possibly some sort of slightly different alloy, see what that does. And I brought this out just because this is natural here. You know, that's natural aging. I haven't done anything to this, so it'll make for kind of a nice comparison. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put this in the microwave. And I'll put 3 minutes or so on it. It's not real important. You're gonna watch it and watch for it to boil. You start boiling. And actually, if you just listen, you can probably hear it. The beer is not part of this experiment. This is just for me. Yeah. I guess you can add that to the list of materials. I like IPAs. And Ranger's a pretty good one. New Belgium makes good stuff. They're not paying me, by the way. Though it'd be nice if you guys did, if you're out there. You could always use the money. Okay. Now it's just starting to boil now. And there we go. Oh yeah, you see it boiling away. Alright. Like I said, you could probably do this on a stove. So, this piece of brass here, I just cleaned. several minutes ago on the wire wheel, so it's raw. Stainless steel wire wheel is what I used. Why am I able to grip that? Huh. There we go. These things are crappy. Alright. Now, for just a couple of seconds, we'll pull that right out and see what it's already done. We'll rinse it with some water here. And see what it's already done there. Isn't that amazing? And it actually, if you just dip it for a very short amount of time, you actually can make it blue if you want. So we'll dip it for a little longer and just sort of enrich the tone. Now what's happening here is the acidic acid in the vinegar is cleaning the copper, brass or bronze object, whatever you're doing, and the hydrogen peroxide is actually oxidizing it, you know. So there we go. I mean, that looks pretty damn good. Alright, so I clamped those on there good. And you can see here up at the edge it's totally clean. Or no, it's gotten splatter from this, so. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and try this valve stem here and see what it does. I'm just going to dip this in here. It's not aging quite as quickly, but give it a little longer. Yeah, so you can see that's beginning to age quite nicely. You know, this being a valve stem, it's meant to be very corrosion resistant, so but if we left that in there for a little while, it would be, you know, just as dark as that. Here's the other part of that valve. Actually, I'm just gonna. Also, part of this slowing down is due to this losing heat. So keep it hot. It will work a lot better. Give that a couple moments. It's amazing how this reacts, you know. It's this is not it boiling, this is actually the chemical reaction that's going on here. And what's happening is it's dissolving the metal actually into solution. As you can see, it's slowly growing darker. Um, that is actually the metal itself. Uh, and what you can do with this too is you can hook this up to a DC power source and actually use this solution as a copper plating solution. Although if you're intending to do copper plating, I would highly recommend that you use the purest copper available and nothing else in order to make it, because in my experimentation in the past, doing things like this and then trying to reuse this, you're not plating just pure copper on there, and it has problems with sticking. So anyways, but yeah, if you ever want to copper plate something. Oh, and you can see that it's quite hot. My fingers are tough, but I recommend that you use something, again, pliers or, you know, in this instance, vice grips. Again, I don't want to clip any of this. I wanted to show all of this in real time to show how simple it actually is and how safe it actually is. I'm not going to give out safety warnings or anything. Don't be an idiot. That's my safety warning. Just don't be an idiot. If you're an idiot, you deserve what you get. You know? I think that's why there's so many stupid people in the world when you think about it. You know, it's just it's the lawyers. The lawyers, they all came in and and then everybody got afraid of getting sued. You know, so they gotta make everything super safe. You know, and the world was a lot better place before the lawyers came in. You gotta think about it. You know, back then. Some guy, he was a stupid guy, right? And he stuck his fingers in some gears and he lost his fingers. And then, girls don't want to bang a fellow with no fingers. Oh, that's an idiot. He don't even have, he's got like 8 fingers, And so the guy never had kids, and then his stupid genes would die out of the gene pool, But nowadays, every stupid kid is special. Anyway. World's going to shit, and that's the end of that. But at least we can age some copper and some brass objects. So you see how well that's actually doing. And rinse that off with some water. So of course, the longer you leave it, the closer it'll get. Eventually, you can almost perfectly replicate these old finishes. And notice how blue this has gotten. My God. And it's actually still reacting as well. Just from the copper and the other metals that have come off of this. So I also had a little experiment I wanted to do, and I've never tried this with steel, but I forgot my bar of steel, so I have to go get it. Okay, so we're back, and I've just run out to the workshop and grabbed a little scrap piece of steel here. This was TGP shafting. I don't know the alloy. I've sanded the end here with some emery, and then the very end I actually hit with the stainless steel wire wheel. So we're gonna see what this does and how that reacts. Mind you, I haven't tried this before. I've not reheated this. And because it's got metals in it, I'm kind of nervous about trying to put it back in the microwave at this point. But we might, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be reacting very much at all. Of course, the solution is cooled down now, so we'll see if we can grab that out and get a look and see if it's actually doing anything so far. Hopefully we don't break anything. It still looks pretty shiny. Alright, screw it. Let's heat this up a little bit and see what it does. Between you and me, guys, so if the microwave blows up or anything, I wasn't here. Foam at the top. Alright, it's boiling. It's definitely boiling. Pull it back out now. And we'll try again. I'll loosen these up so I can get a better grip. Into the reactor. I will say it seems to be rusting the tip here of this vice grip. Again, this was TGP shafting. This came out of a washing machine, if I recall. It very well may have a kind of a high chromium content. It may be some sort of a pretty corrosion-resistant steel. So while that's doing its thing, you can look at our valve stem here and see, you know, it's got a nice aged effect to it. And actually, if you just rub it a little bit, I mean, that looks nice. And now, here's a comparison to now once it's pretty much dry of our original piece and the piece that we artificially aged. And again, I suspect if you rub that a little bit, you get a very, very close match there. It's I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that all up. It's almost exact. You can take this. The next step in this process is to take it under a buffing wheel if you can, or just to buff it by hand and polish it out, and maybe even with a little bit of oil or wax. So, but yeah, it's just, you know, that was absolutely that was absolutely clean, wire wheeled, raw brass. Actually, probably bronze is. They usually use bronze when they're making valve bodies and stuff. Let's see if this has done anything yet. Huh. Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe this is chrome plated, because on the very end here, I just sanded it a little bit, but this was machined. This was cut off and it was faced in a lathe, and look at how black that is. I mean, oh wow, but it just seems to rub off or something with your fingers. So okay, so I probably wouldn't recommend this if you're trying to age steel. Anyhow, now it's time that we go ahead and age our glasses. And see if that'll grip those. That's good enough. We'll just drop them right in. You'll notice how dark that this is starting to get now, and I believe that it's just starting to lose its potency. So when I mix this up fresh, my test piece here, you dip it in for a couple of seconds and pull it out. I mean, it was good. Our glasses seem to be taking their time. But they've been carried around and handled all day. They may have some oils. So, actually, it appears that the reaction is slowly picking up steam. In reality, we may need to mix up some more of this to achieve the finish that we want. And actually, these glasses aren't done yet, so we'll have to do this process again. But I think you've seen enough to know that this is a very good process for artificially aging brass, bronze, and copper objects. You know, it's cheap. You can use what you got in your house. It's safe. You see, I'm just doing this right here in my kitchen. Also kind of a fun experiment, just maybe for some middle schoolers or something like that, you know. Actual chemistry where you got things changing colors and stuff. It's like a cartoon, you know. So I think that about concludes this video. Trying to think if I've got any last thoughts here. Anyhow, yeah, I think y'all got enough to see this is a pretty good option if that's what you're looking to do. Now, if this proves to be popular, I may do a follow-up video and actually make a plating solution and do some copper plating. But I think most of that's been covered in other people's videos, so if you're interested in that, it's probably out there somewhere. I'll be putting up another video soon on the progress with the line shaft driven machine shop, and you know, looking to still acquire some more stuff, but money's been real tight lately, so, which I'm sure is an issue for just about everyone. So until then, you know, thank you for watching, and you know, if you like these videos, like them. If you have questions or anything, you know where to put those. And if you want to see more stuff, you know, go ahead and subscribe, guys. Well, thanks for watching.